Welcome back everyone, this will be my brand new Marvel Secret Invasion video. There were a bunch of big announcements recently, a bunch of big teasers, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. The I Am Groot episodes are going to be starting on Disney Plus really soon, and then She-Hulk episodes after that. I'll be doing videos for all those episodes just like I do for all the other Marvel Disney Plus series. But you probably saw a lot of the bigger news outlets talking about the return of Charlie Cox's Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin during Marvel's Echo episodes next year. I just did a bunch of videos about that, so I'll link them at the end of this and down in the description below. Because that's just like the watershed moment of like all these old characters coming back into the MCU. It's going to feature a lot of them, like the Echo series is going to feel kind of like an unofficial Daredevil Season 4. They're not the only old characters that are also just confirmed to come back. Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones is like the next big one. Supposedly a little bit of that is going to happen during the She-Hulk episodes, but even more so, like in a much bigger way, during the Echo episodes next year. We just saw them bring Anson Mount Black Bolt and the Inhumans back during Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, canonizing that Inhumans TV show legit to the MCU. If it wasn't already canon, I know a lot of people wonder about that, the Inhumans are definitely canon to the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse now. Now the next big group that people have been asking about are the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, primarily through Chloe Bennet's Quake character. Everybody's been asking about them, posting theories for the past couple of years since we first heard that they might be bringing any kind of characters back, like the Daredevil, the Kingpin character back. Spider-Man No Way Home and the Hawkeye series are really just like the first big instances of that happening, with those big characters being made canon again. So naturally when Secret Invasion was announced at that big Disney Plus event, people wondered if Chloe Bennett's Quake or any of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters would be coming back because they're so tied to the Nick Fury character. If they were planning on bringing all these characters back through all the movies and the Disney Plus shows, this would be the place to do it. But what's changed recently is that about a year ago, when we first learned about Daredevil coming back, naturally people started blowing up Chloe Bennett's social media because Charlie Cox doesn't have his own social media, so people couldn't bother him about stuff like this in the same way. So when people started blasting Chloe Bennet about coming back, she actually responded, but gave a total Andrew Garfield level response. Like Andrew Garfield has turned himself into a verb because of the way he responded to all those rumors and leaks from Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man again.
Yeah. Oh, you almost got me.
No, I'm not. Crying out loud.
I want to fight an alien.
I'm still like that you fought an alien in space.
They were actually pretty funny. He said he had a lot of fun lying to people about that. Reportedly now what's changed is that Chloe Bennet is supposed to actually be featured or referenced somehow during the actual Secret Invasion series. Like it's supposed to actually be a real thing. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a Marvel television show made by a completely different group of people when Jeff Loeb was in charge of that. Kevin Feige wasn't really overseeing what was happening at Marvel Television. Now they've changed it so that all Marvel Television, like all Marvel everything, just kind of flows through Kevin Feige, so he says yes or no to pretty much everything now. That happened when they were creating Disney Plus, and it's why like all the brand new Marvel stuff is all canon to the MCU. But when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started back in 2012 alongside the original Avengers movie, it was a very different situation behind the scenes. They had very different plans. Remember how they planned to make that Inhumans movie. It was on their Marvel Phase 3 schedule for years. In fact, today, as of me posting this video, July 12th, it's the 3-year anniversary to the day that the Inhumans movie was supposed to come out. So everybody pour one out for the movie that never was. It would have come out right after Avengers Endgame. There's a whole separate story about why they got rid of that movie, but the too long didn't read of it all is that Kevin Feige always wanted the X-Men back in the day, and the Inhumans were treated as like the next best thing that they had the rights to. Like, who's a weird group of people with biological powers that we can use? The Inhumans, we have rights to that. But then obviously what happened is they knew that they were going to get the X-Men back eventually, so there was no reason to do an Inhumans movie, and it did not help that the Inhumans TV show bombed so hard that Kevin Feige just kind of wanted to push it off into the corner and forget about it. That is until Doctor Strange 2 came along and they had an opportunity to do Inhumans with the Black Bolt character coming back. But at the same time that that crazy Inhumans TV show was going on back in the day, they actually had a really legit Inhumans storyline during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, so Chloe Bennett's Quake kind of became like the top Inhuman that they had featured inside the Marvel Universe. So naturally when they announced all these Disney Plus shows, it seemed like a slam dunk to just bring her back, the same way that they brought Daredevil, all the Netflix characters back, like the best of the Marvel Netflix series. Like there were a lot of good things that they did during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., why not bring some of that stuff back? One of the main reasons why you haven't seen her in the newer Disney Plus shows yet though, or the newer movies, is mostly just because they weren't ready to explain Inhumans inside the main 616 Marvel universe yet. Like I've been doing Miss Marvel episodes, they literally just swerved harder than you could possibly swerve on Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel Inhuman backstory because they didn't want to do that in the MCU. Now her backstory is much closer to what you saw during the Shang-Chi movie with the Ten Rings origin story, the Great Protector Dragon, this alternate race of beings from another dimension, the newer energy inside of her. I'll talk more about that during my Miss Marvel Episode 6 finale video. But now the closest thing we actually have to legit Inhumans inside the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, is that Black Bolt Inhumans cameo during Doctor Strange 2 in the 838 universe. And if it wasn't clear, because of that Professor X cameo scene with all the X-Men the Animated Series Easter eggs, all the regular mainstream X-Men are canon in that universe too. Even Magneto. They talked about including Magneto in that movie. But when you talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and what was canon to the MCU, like what the crossover was, because there was actually some crossover between the movies and the TV show back in the day, Nick Fury himself even did a cameo scene in Season 1. Coulson was also another major character, and they did a lot of stuff with the Kree. They're now doing that with the Captain Marvel movie series. But the way the showrunners talked about that show, they treated it like the 838 universe cameo scenes with Black Bolt and Inhumans. Like the showrunners talked about it being in a completely separate timeline, and that's why they could mention all the Infinity War stuff, Thanos attacking Earth when that was happening a couple years ago, while they were also having their own world-ending threats with all the Inhumans characters. It's kind of like the Eternals movie with the dead Celestial in the Indian Ocean. Like, how come we haven't heard other movies talking about that yet? It's a giant inhuman body just jutting out of the ocean. Think about all the Instagram influencers in real life that would be trying to get pictures of themselves on the dead Celestial. If they were treating it like a real thing in the MCU, people would not shut up about it. It'd be all over the news. J. Jonah Jameson would somehow find a way to blame it on Spider-Man. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being in a separate timeline is why they could also do stuff like Ghost Rider showing up with the Darkhold without Doctor Strange showing up, and also explaining how their version of the Darkhold looks so different from the version of the Darkhold that we saw in Doctor Strange 2 and during WandaVision. There's been a lot of talk about Ghost Rider coming back too. I did videos about that when Moon Knight was happening, so I'll link some of those in the description below too. Because eventually, yes, Ghost Rider or a version of Ghost Rider will come back. They also almost did a Ghost Rider TV show. Like, they were literally getting ready to roll camera on sets for the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider TV show. It was going to be a spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then Kevin Feige canceled it when he started consolidating all of Marvel TV stuff under him. And since then, the last couple of years, you've just seen characters slowly start coming back from the TV shows piecemeal. Daredevil is just the beginning of that. The report now is that Chloe Bennet actually is coming back Daredevil style through the Secret Invasion series, and will probably show up in future related stuff. Because of the way they treated the Daredevil series canon on the Netflix episodes when Charlie Cox came back in Spider-Man No Way Home, I think it'll be a similar situation when Chloe Bennet eventually comes back. And because they destroyed S.H.I.E.L.D. during the Captain America Winter Soldier movie and we haven't had it so far, but Nick Fury has been super active since then, I think they'll just say Chloe Bennet and any of her related Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters have been active working for Nick Fury on the DL this whole time. Doing all the same stuff, handling all the same kind of threats on the DL though, and they just won't specifically reference too many things during the events of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, the same way that they did with Daredevil when he first came back. Like when Charlie Cox actually came back during his scenes, they made no mention of the events of Daredevil Season 3, he just makes jokes about his special ability and how he was a really good lawyer. The big report right now with the Secret Invasion series is that it's going to be about a faction of Skrulls that have gone bad and are trying to infiltrate Earth, so it'll be similar to the Secret Invasion comic book series, but it won't be like a giant Avengers level event. Like the big tagline in the comics was, "Who do you trust?" And it was the idea that any of the big A-list Avengers characters could be Skrulls, any like the major characters. During the series, it'll be a smaller group of characters, and it sounds like it's going to be a faction of religious zealots that'll be trying to invade Earth. The big report now, too, is that Emilia Clarke is playing the Skrull Empress, who was a main character during the comic book Secret Invasion series. It'll all connect back to what Nick Fury was doing during the Spider-Man Far From Home post-credit scene on the Skrull space station. Like, they'll finally be paying that off. How long has it been since we've seen that? It's been years. There'll also probably be some kind of Miss Marvel post-credit scene like we saw during WandaVision with Monica Rambeau. Like Monica Rambeau got her own version of a post-credit scene that's sort of tied to the Captain Marvel 2 movie, The Marvels. It'll probably be the same situation with Miss Marvel. Because this is what her movie costume is supposed to look like. They've already shot the Marvels movie, so it'll connect to that. But because Nick Fury will also be a big part of that too, we'll also probably see some connection to the Secret Invasion series too and what he's been doing these past couple of years. Marvel Comic-Con is coming in the next week. They're going to be dropping a bunch of trailers like the Black Panther 2 trailer, a bunch of trailers for the upcoming Disney Plus series. I'll do videos for all that stuff, so make sure you enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. There'll also be another Comic-Con type of event for the TV shows in September, like we saw the past couple of years, where they just hype up the upcoming Marvel Disney Plus stuff. We'll also probably get a Secret Invasion trailer during that. While you wait for everything, everyone click here for all my Thor Love and Thunder alternate ending and deleted scenes, and click here for my full Thor Love and Thunder post-credit scene video for Hercules and all the other really big characters. My next video will also be my full Miss Marvel Episode 6 finale video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.